Hi there, and welcome to Apple World. Following 2 years, Regina King is at long last talking openly about the death of her child Ian, and it's only grievous to perceive how she is, as yet battling to manage the misfortune. Sadly, Ian decided to leave the world according to his very own preferences in January 2022, and Regina was tossed into misery. Well, she is here to establish the standard straight about Ian's life penance, and you all truly need to hear her words since they are both wonderful and shocking. Regina King is at last back in people in general after the sad passing of her child Ian back in 2022, and keeping in mind that she is obviously as yet harming, she is by all accounts in a greatly improved place right now since she is focusing on Ian's passing in reality with regards to what truly happened. Regina and her child Ian have forever been exceptionally close, particularly after Regina and her ex-boyfriend Ian got separated. The separation was challenging for her and her child, and in a meeting, she said the marriage part was most likely the hardest piece, all things considered, and I think any wedded couple that has stayed hitched caps off to them since they were ready to move past those times while you're developing at various rates in every which way, that is troublesome. My ex and I observed that we're greatly better co-guardians and companions than we are as husband and spouse. Regina and her better half were engaged in a chaotic and unpleasant separation, yet she at last chose to relinquish their issues since she understood exactly how seriously Ian Jr. was taking them, as she expressed due to our issues. Ian was turning into the youngster whose guardians were disengaged to the point that they lacked the ability to sit close to one another, not to mention have an enlightened conversation. It immediately became clear to each and every individual who knew Regina that Ian was her main reason throughout everyday life, and she put him in front of everybody in everything, including her vocation. She uncovered that she would turn down jobs that elaborate a great deal of voyaging on the grounds that she would have rather not been away from her child that long. She said, "I'm not passing up his life. I never maintained that my child should say, well, the caretaker was there. I would be crushed." She was extremely open about her adoration for her child, astonishing my child Ian. "The way that I get to impart this night to you, the best date in the house. Goodness, man, you make being a mother my most noteworthy achievement. I love you. Cheers." As a mother, her biggest trepidation was losing Ian, and she frequently turned down streets where her personality would need to manage kid misfortune since she was unable to envision that event to her. And in an interview, she uncovered that she had been considering turning down her job in the television series 7 Seconds since her character lost a kid, and she was unable to envision how it would feel to lose Ian. I read an article discussing 7 Seconds, and it said that you were at first reluctant to play that job. Why, glance at this young fellow. That is my most. This makes me more joyful than anything in the entire world. Furthermore, to realize that I must be in a space of a mother losing her youngster for a long time. It was frightening, which makes it significantly more tragic that she needed to manage her biggest trepidation in light of the fact that Ian died in 2022. Ian has battled with his psychological wellness for quite a while. Furthermore, in the days paving the way to his passing, he made some unsettling posts, like when he tweeted, "You know that episode of SpongeBob where they go inside his mind, and it's a lot smaller than normal. SpongeBob simply losing there is, better believe it, that one truly hits home in January last year." Regina made a post to pay tribute to the first commemoration of Ian's passing she composed on Instagram. January 19th is Ian's birthday. As we actually process his actual non-appearance, we praise his presence. We are all in better places in the world, and so is Ian. His soul is the string that binds us. I see you in all that I inhale. My outright most loved thing about myself is being Regina, the mother of Ian, the God King. Keep on radiating brilliantly, my directing light. It has now been over a long time since Ian elapsed, and despite the fact that Regina is still harming, she is gradually beginning to recuperate. Surely, and it's her first significant job since her child passed away. She plunked down with Great Morning America to talk about her job, and the point went to her child. Regina talked about him uninhibitedly, interestingly discussing how the film is devoted to her child. You committed the film to your cherished Ian, your child Ian. What has this time range these most recent 2 years been similar to for you, gracious? Wow. I'm an alternate individual, now than I was. January 19th. I am misery as will be is an excursion. I comprehend that. Sorrow is love. That has no spot to go. I know that it means a lot to me to respect Ian in the entirety of what his identity is. Talk about him in the present since he is dependably with me and the delight and bliss that he gave us all. It's wonderful, the way in which she is deciding to respect her child in her everyday life. Despite the fact that his passing harmed her gravely, she likewise opened up for quite a while about how Ian experienced discouragement for quite a while, until he in the long run would have rather not been here any longer, with regards to gloom that individuals anticipate that it should look a specific way, and they anticipate that it should look weighty. And individuals expect that it's okay to need to encounter this and not have the option to have the time to simply sit with Ian's dishi. Cyan, which I regard and comprehend, you realize that he would have rather not been here any longer. And that is something hard for others to get in light of the fact that they didn't live didn't experience Ian's excursion. She likewise uncovered that he had been getting help for quite a while before he ultimately decided not to, in light of the fact that he was burnt out on talking and that she was so harmed and furious when he passed. I was so irate with God. You realize that how could that weight be given to Ian? You are aware of all of the things that we had proceeded with the treatment psych, with specialists and projects, and Ian was like, I'm worn out on talking, Mother. She then, at that point, added that she had at long last decided to regard his choice. My must be one thing about myself is being Ian's mother, and I can't express that cheerfully with tears, with all of the feeling that accompanies that. I can't do that, on the off chance that I didn't. Regard the excursion, however, that doesn't imply that she actually doesn't feel a ton of torment. It's a ton of culpability. It comes over me when a parent loses a kid, and you actually can't help thinking about what I might have done so that wouldn't have happened. I realize that I share this despondency with everybody except Ian's mother. You know, just me. Thus, it's mine, and the bitterness won't ever disappear. It'll constantly be with me. I assume I saw someplace, and the trouble is a sign of the amount he implies to me. You realize blissful distress is what my mom used to consider cheerful distress. It's additionally shocking, but it's delightful that she is deciding to zero in on his life and cherish him despite the fact that he's presently not here with yous. Fans likewise shared her sadness, and they left remarks saying, I truly value Regina Lord for attesting to her child's humankind, and Battle Sue can be an undesirable, however legitimate reaction to agonizing agony. Appreciating what individuals go through keeps a large number of us alive. Words are so strong, I'm actually taking in what Regina King said in her meeting today regarding her child Ian, who passed because of Sue, whom she regards and comprehends. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.